This procedure will be to show the setup of an optimal malaria rapid diagnostic kit. So check the lot number and expiry on the side, and then indicate it on the interim report, the lot and the expiry. There are a lot of pieces in here. It's the cartridge, it's the buffer, the desiccant, that's garbage, an alcohol swab and a needle. This should go into a sharps. We won't need that because we're not picking anybody's finger. Each kit has some extra procedural related notes, so they're easy to follow and will be an aid for you. So the first step with the optimal kit is to add the buffer. Turn that off, pull. That's garbage. 1 drop goes into the first well, 4 drops goes into the next well. Once you've added the drops of buffer to the wells, set a timer for 1 minute and let that sit for 1 minute. With the Ebola sample, we're going to use a diff safe to actually puncture the tube. Mix the tube properly, inverting approximately 20 times with a twist, and your sample is going to be mixed sufficiently. Pierce the top. Press the tube against the diff safe, and the diff safe is going to release blood. The length of time you hold it down is will control how much blood is on the tube, on the slide, pardon me. Now, this is the little capillary. Use 3 fingers and compress as much as you can. Go into the drop. And that's properly filled. Okay. Once the buffer has sat there for a minute, then add the blood to the first well. By pressing on the pipette. That's been added. Flip the pipette around. There's a little spatula at the end, and that's used to mix the blood in the first well. Once the blood is sat in the first well for a minute after it's been mixed, we're going to add the filter paper to the first well. And the blood mixture is starting to ascend up the paper chromatography strip. Set the timer for 10 minutes and let that reaction happen. So the next step after 10 minutes is to move the paper strip into the next well, which is a clearing well. So the 4 drops of buffer are going to ascend up the strip and clear the background red blood that's present on the paper. And set the timer for 10 minutes and wait. It has been 10 minutes now that the strip has been in the clearing buffer. You can remove it and slide it in to the reading area. The little C is the control band. There should be a control band there, and there's a nice purple band. We can actually read this strip. There's a P and a PF. P for Plasmodium species and PF for Plasmodium falciparum. In this case, there's no bands and there's no Plasmodium species or falciparum present. Here are the expected results on the little optimal sheet that guides the use of the dipstick.